tonight.
I don't know, it's a nice country to ride in. There's lots of secondary roads to go on, lots to see.
Lloydminster needs your votes as the city looks to become Canada's most rider-friendly city. And
limit yourself to a certain amount of time.
How to keep cool as summer temperatures hit the border city.
This is Newcap News with Michaela Henshaw.
Good evening. This month's Governance and Priorities meeting provided City Council with public presentations, an update on a traffic safety project, and several policy drafts. Our Josh Ryan has more from City Hall.
City Council heard two public presentations today, both dealing with long-term needs within the city. The first from the Lloydminster Learning Council, the second courtesy of the Alberta Hub, an organization the city once belonged to.
Now the opportunity is there for us to consider it again. So it'll be a decision City Council looks at. We have an economic development officer in place to build the economic development locally.
There was also 4 draft policies, either revisions to previous drafts or new policies altogether to repeal existing ones. That latter category applies to the draft barrier-free policy. However, Council was unwilling to completely eliminate the original diversity and inclusion policy.
It's quieter on the physical elements, but it is much more pronounced when you look at the cognitive challenges and disabilities that it also bring with them. So they both speak to two parts which are extremely important.
And administration provided an update on Vision Zero, a project working to eliminate fatal and serious injury collisions. A planning session is tentatively scheduled for early next month. Josh Ryan, Newcap News, City Hall.
Well, a fan vote is underway to determine Canada's most rider-friendly community. As our Brendan Escott explains, Lloydminster is a finalist against another prairie counterpart.
The sun is shining, the bikes are out, and what better community to explore on two wheels? Well, perhaps none better. After several rounds of Canada-wide voting, Lloydminster is in a showdown with Drumheller to crown a champion. And of course, Mayor Gerald Albers thinks we have the edge.
We talk about Lloyd as being hometown to people that surround this community, and a lot of people consider this a very important place in their life, so I hope they step up and support and get out and vote.
Local riders credit the flat, open roadways as one of the features that makes Lloyd rider-friendly.
I don't know, it's a nice country to ride in. There's lots of secondary roads to go on, lots to see.
You can enjoy a bike ride right down 16 Highway, or you can tour out south and north of town and see some beautiful landscape that just makes it a bike driver's dream.
But it's not just the landscape riders enjoy. The city has also adopted safety measures to ensure a positive experience for all motorists.
Well, our City Council has adopted Vision Zero, which is really important. Doesn't matter if you're a bike rider or you're operating a motor vehicle of any sort, or you're a pedestrian. It's on everyone's part to make sure that you're being safe.
The winner of Canada's most rider-friendly community will be awarded $30,000, which Mayor Albers says he plans on using for tourism to bring more riders to Lloyd. And he also has a message for the mayor of Drumheller.
It's just one of those things. Somebody's going to be first, somebody's going to be second, and we're looking forward to driving ahead in the pile.
You can vote online daily at riderfriendlycontest.ca until June 2nd. Brendan Escott, Newcap News.
Well, Lyme disease has been on the rise, and experts say that this summer could be the worst season yet. Our Brett Holden has a story.
In 2011, there were 32 cases of Lyme disease in Canada. As of 2017, there was almost 1,500 confirmed cases. Dr. Raf Saeed says the disease is not easy to diagnose.
There is no real test available yet to diagnose Lyme disease definitively. There are some tests that they are experimenting with in the United States, but in Canada, there is no test that can say you have, so it's a diagnosis of exclusion.
There are about 40 different types of ticks in Canada, and 3 of them can carry the disease.
Lyme disease can mimic any condition. It can mimic heart condition, it can mimic fibromyalgia, it can mimic heart disease. I already said heart disease, but it can mimic a neurological condition. So it's a weird disease.
Now, it's not only humans who are affected by bites from ticks. Man's best friend and other pets can be affected as well.
In our area, we have been doing a tick monitoring program for about the last 3 years. So both the Alberta and the Saskatchewan provincial governments have been monitoring ticks.
Dr. Newman also says that making sure you are checking your pets regularly can prevent other potential diseases.
And so the primary one would be something like anaplasmosis, which causes a bit of fever, lethargy, but doesn't have any long-term effects.
There have been 103 ticks removed in the Lloydminster area. But where did they come from?
They probably first came in our area on migratory birds flying over, and they would come off of these migratory birds. And just migration, we're starting to see more animals in our area.
Brett Holden, Newcap News.
Well, with a heat warning in effect, vets and doctors are urging people to take extra precautions while enjoying the sun. Matthew Churchill reports.
The sun is out and it's strong, but that isn't stopping some people from soaking up as much vitamin D as possible this week.
Just taking some time to myself, riding in Bud Miller.
We're just going to walk around the lake and let the kids run off some steam, I guess.
With temperatures expected to reach nearly 29 degrees throughout the week, Katie Smallhorn plans on spending a lot of time outdoors.
Just hanging out. We might head out to Sandy Beach tomorrow and just be outside, spend time in the backyard.
With the high temperatures forecasted this week, it's a great opportunity for people to get out and check out places like Bud Miller Park. But there are some safety precautions you can take to make sure you're protected this week.
Limit yourself to a certain amount of time, perhaps a maximum of hour, especially and avoid the direct sun between 11 and 1 or 11 and 2, so that the sun is not at its highest.
And there are also ways you can keep your furry friends safe too.
Take a water bottle with you. There's lots of great collapsible water bowls that you can, easily take along on a walk with you. Make sure you're just stopping and giving your pet a chance to have a nice cool drink of water along the way.
With these high temperatures, it's also important to never leave children or animals inside vehicles. For Newcap News, I'm Matthew Churchill.
Well, we have 2 dogs in the adoption spotlight this week. Copper is a lovable boy that's full of energy, and Ellie is a loyal girl looking for her forever home. Here's John from the SPCA.
Intelligent, curious, and friendly are just a few words to describe Copper. Copper is one happy fellow who is full of love. All he wants to do is cuddle up right next to you and get lots of cuddles. When he's not soaking up all the attention, Copper loves to explore. His ideal day is joining you for a long walk in the country. Copper is also very eager to learn. There is nothing that this dog can't do with the right motivation. A tasty treat usually does the trick. If you're looking for a wonderful canine companion to share your summer adventures with, then you just have to meet Copper. Stop by the SPCA and say hi to this handsome fellow today. One look into Ellie's eyes and you'll be hooked. She is such a dog full of love, and all she needs now is that special family to make her life complete. Ellie is an enthusiastic girl who sometimes forgets her own size and may occasionally jump up. Therefore, she's best suited to a home with older children. If you're looking for a jogging buddy, Ellie would be the perfect choice. Her energy seems endless, and once she's formed that special bond with you, she'll stay right by your side. Ellie is definitely one of a kind girl you need to meet. Be sure to stop by the SPCA and meet her today.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, Pink Sox Weekend, the annual weekend of baseball hosted by the Prairie League Softball Association. East A Division took place at Legion Park, and the weekend was dominated by one of the city's local teams. The U16A Liners finished the weekend with a 5-1 record, including a Sunday afternoon win against one of the province's better teams, the Strathmore Thunder. The weekend allowed every player to see what the team is capable of after a tough start to Ladies League just over a week earlier.
I feel like we have trusted each other more, have started trusting each other more this weekend. We've been working as a team. We've been putting our hearts into the game and just trying our best.
In the team's opening week of Lloydminster Ladies League, the U16 Liners managed 1 run in a 9-run loss, a stark difference to the 37 runs scored over the weekend. 5 games, and the approach at the plate is simple.
Be focused, be confident, don't swing at balls.
An area of concern continues to be fielding. Errors are becoming a little too commonplace for this U16 team, but it's to be expected with the long layover between seasons.
Well, that will just come with time. Like, it's just a routine play. So, like, during the winter, you get a little rusty, and this is only our second weekend. So, with time, it will just come and be easier.
The Liners own a 5-5 record in GPLS play. Their next pair of games coming May 25th and 27th against Battleford and St. Albert, respectively.
This is Newcap Weather with Gerard Lampau.
Welcome back, everyone. So certainly these warm conditions continuing. Prospects of some showers around Thursday into Friday thereabouts, but only cooling things down maybe just a couple degrees before it warms up again. So let's see what we're dealing with at least the next 24 hours there. We'll put this first map into motion there, and you can see the dominance there of the high pressure. It's just the movement of cloud cover across the region. No meaningful precipitation, no meaningful showers. Anything that's there, well, it's well off to our southeast. The center of that system is even further south of us, and it's just a lot of heat. How much heat we're talking about? Let's put another map into motion for you. Look at that and see if it'll play there. So just looking at the cooler areas in the early hours of the morning, that green shade, but for the bulk of it, it stays bright orange and bright reds, and that corresponds with the areas where the heat warnings are. Let's look at the temperatures for tomorrow then. 27s, maybe 29 in the case of Marwayne there. So let's say near 30 degrees Celsius weather. It's not officially summer yet. We're still technically in spring for another few weeks. We're not even at the end of May. 29 in Edmonton, 30 in Vegreville, a string of 27s around Provost, Wainwright, Macklin, Maidstone. 30 is possible in Meadow Lake and Green Lake areas, 29 at Isle Cross, and we could understand why Environment Canada has put out these heat warnings right across, well, from Alberta into Saskatchewan. It's not in the Battlefords area yet, but pretty much as the week goes along, we can expect that to happen. A mix of sun and cloud as we head across the country for Vancouver. Similar story in Edmonton. Edmonton at 27, 14 out to Whitehorse, 22 across the Yellowknife there, 21 in Regina. Mind you, Regina, they were up at 29 or near 30 just a little while ago, so it does cool off quickly, mind you. 28 in Winnipeg. Let's head to Toronto now, where they've got some cloud cover, some patchy fog as well being recorded at Pearson International, sitting at 15, 18 in Quebec, 11 in Halifax, 3 in St. John's, and yeah, -4 out to Iqaluit there. That's what it is. Let's return to the prairies then. Lots of sunshine in the Battlefords for their 26 at the moment, and it'll stay mainly clear. Towards the early hours of the morning could settle for 11, so that's pretty much where we have been so far. 29 is what you're aiming for come tomorrow. So if the heat warnings are not out yet, they should probably be getting on there come tomorrow. Those east and southeasterly winds in the 20k range there. For the Lakeland region, where the heat warnings have been on since the weekend, 28 at the moment, 11 on the overnights, and looking for 28 again tomorrow. Winds with an easterly component for the bulk of it, and then southeast overnight through the early morning period and into the afternoon to give you that 28. Mainly sunny skies. For us else in the Midwest, it's pretty much a movement of cloud cover across the region. Mainly sunny, 26 at the moment, down from 27. And that's the number we've been hitting for the last few days, but with the humidity there and what's available, it easily feels like a 29 or 30. 12 on the overnights this morning. At about 5 o'clock, we were around 11. So again, it's pretty much the same, just hot, cooling off a bit on the evenings, but not really too much, honestly. 27, we'll aim for that again come tomorrow. And yeah, the heat warning will stay in effect there. Those showers, they could probably start Wednesday evening even, but it's a 50% chance, and some of it could be thundery. 25 on Thursday, so it's just a couple degrees off of your 27. 29 on Friday, so back in business with the heat. 27 Saturday, 26 from Sunday through to next Tuesday. That's the next 7 days. Michaela, back to you for Agriculture News.
Well, the federal government, in conjunction with the provinces, is rolling out programs under the new Canadian Agriculture Partnership. Gerard Lampau finds out how some of these programs will be administered in Saskatchewan.
The Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities, or SARM, is administering some of the new programs under the Canadian Agricultural Partnership Deal, or CAP. The invasive plant control program covers up to $500,000 with 50% in rebates to RMs, First Nations, and producers.
So that will subsidize the cost of chemicals to eradicate and control the prohibited and noxious weeds that we're unfortunately facing here in this province.
Next on the list is the rat control program. In the past, Saskatchewan had about $1.4 million to eradicate rats. That funding has been reduced to $900,000, and next year even less, to $500,000.
We're wanting the program, the rat eradication program, basically, that was funded before, to going forward to. We're wanting that to continue as far as pest control officers in each rural municipality being able to visit each farm site and each site where there is grain and grain storage and livestock and things like that. And so we're hoping that the program still works, albeit with a little less funding.
The RMs will be asked to make up the difference in funding. The next program deals with our favorite aquatic rodent.
Now, the beaver control program is the third program. There is going to be $450,000 every year in that program. And it's really to remove the problem beavers. And the way we have to do that, we have to do it humanely to make sure that these beavers are euthanized and disposed of in a proper manner.
Licensed trappers will carry out this work through the RMs. The last program is the Plant Health Network. 6 full-time officers will be hired, as well as some seasonal staff.
They'll be able to work with RMs and First Nations band in each SARM division, and we have 6 SARM divisions in the province, and they'll provide training and support.
This program will also handle clubroot. Overall, nearly $3 million under CAP will be administered by SARM through the Pest Biosecurity Program. Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.